Equipment comparisons! You know the thing where you go into your armor section and you click on one of the armors and it tells you what happens when you apply that armor. For example, if we take off our shield, we're gonna lose our defense and make it go to 36. Or if we equip our wet sword back on, our attack will go up to 26. Just like that. You know, it's simple, but it's pretty lackluster, to be honest. You're only restricted to 6 stats you can use, and you like have to be forced to show them. It can't see your HP or MP. And it's just, if you want to see an EX stat, or perhaps you have custom stats in your game, it's just bad, you know? So, let's fix it. The Equip Comparison Upgrade plugin. A plugin allows you to upgrade your equipment comparison window to see more stats, more action, more better formatting, just good stuff. When you first install it, the first thing you'll notice is that the window is now differently formatted. Now instead of showing all the stats at once, it just shows the relevant stats are being changed. For example, when we remove our sword, our attack is being dropped by 10, and when we put it back on, it's being added by 10. Same thing with the shield and our hat and all our other stuff. But there's more to it than that. Let's say, for example, our shield is going to give us more crit, so we'll go to our param, EX parameter, critical rate, and we'll get it so it adds 10% critical rate, just like that. Now, as you can see, that critical rate will be reflected in the new comparison window, just like this. So as you can see, by removing the shield, we lose 10% critical rate, but by putting it back on, we gain that 10% back, just like that. It's very simple and is a good indicator for your equipment and stuff. Now, the way it works is that in the parameters, you can set up your own custom evaluations to be used as stats. For example, for max HP, we can get that stat by doing actor.mhp, just like that. For something that if we go down here all the way to critical rate, we can set it so we have a critical rate stat, and set it so it's going to be the actor.cri, just like that. And using this, you can customize your own stats to be shown on your comparison window in your equipment Steam thing, whatever. And as you can see, we have added a ton of them already, including all the EX and SP stats you see. Cool, yeah. Anyway, let's get straight into how it works. First of all, whenever you're going to remove or add a piece of armor, the way it's checked is that a separate actor is copied from that original actor, and then that armor piece is added or removed to that actor. Once that's done so, both of these evaluations are going to occur on the original actor and the new copied actor. And if there's a difference between the evaluation, that stat will be shown on the stat comparison screen, allowing you to create all these different comparisons just by inputting a simple eval based on one actor object, just like this. So let's say, for example, we want to check the element rate of a specific actor based on an armor being equipped or removed. Let's go to a brand new stat really down low. So right here. So number 29, just like this. First of all, let's note that element number 2 is our fire element. So back at stat 29, let's name this fire rate, just like that, to represent the fire elemental rate based on the armor. Next, we actually use the eval. So we're going to take the actor object dot element rate and then the ID of the element, which is going to be 2, just like that. And that's all we need to do. If there's a difference in between the two evaluations between the original actor and the new actor with the armor removed or added, then this will show up in our comparison window just like that. Finally, let's make it so our cloth armor right here is going to have that element rate. So we'll make it so our fire is going to be increased by 200%, just like that. So let's go try it out. Now, as you can see in the equipment section, if we go to it right here, when we go and remove this cloth, our element rate is going to go from 2 to 1, as you see right here on the fire rate. So 2 to 1. And just like that, it's ready and good to go. If we put it back on, our fire rate is going to go back from 1 to 2 again, just like that. But now, as you may notice, there's a couple things a little wrong with this. Number 1, it's just represented in 2 and 1, but you want it to be 200 or 100%. So we have a couple options to fix this. First of all, we need to actually fix the evaluation itself. An element rate actually returns a number between 0 and something like 1, 2, or 3, and that's actually a decimal place based on the percent, because that's what the percents are. But if you want to make it so it's based on a 100 base rate, all you gotta do is multiply it by 100 like this, and then to remove any decimal points, we're just gonna do a math.floor around it. So we'll just do math.floor, close parenthesis, and format it just like this. Now, as you can see in our equipment screen, we'll find that this armor is now using a base 100 for the fire rate. So it's going to go now from 200% to 100%, and then back up from 100% to 200%, just like that. That easy. But now we want to also add like a percent sign to represent that's a rate. To do so, we can simply use a string format in the third parameter of this section, which is going to be the sat29 format. This value will represent the actual value itself, and we can add other string values around it to make things cool. So all we got to do is add a percent sign to the end, making it so in the actual game itself, the value will be formatted with a percent sign right next to it. That's simple. Now, as you can see, if we go to our equipment screen, when we remove the cloth one more time, we'll find that now it's correct. It's going to go from a fire rate of 200% to 100%. And if we put it back on, our fire rate will go from 100% to 200%, just like that. But now there is one final issue, which is the fact that the coloring. if you look right here, when we try to remove the fire rate and go from 200 to 100%, it's red. And when we bring the fire rate back up, it goes to green again. Now, of course this makes sense because the green one is going to be the one that's bigger and the red one's going to be the one that's smaller. But it's a little different for elemental rates, right? Because the bigger the elemental rate means the bigger the weakness. So in reality, if your fire rate's going up from 100% to 200%, that's actually a bad thing. You want that to be red, right? Fortunately, there's a way to actually customize the colors specifically for a certain stat. If you notice right here at the top of the parameters, you can customize the actual positive color for when a stat increases and a negative color for when a stat decreases. However, you can also customize it specifically for each and every stat. Here's how you do it. Let's take this positive color for example. So dollars per pound sign 80 FF80 and we'll copy that. Let's go all the way back down to our other stat for our fire rate, just like this. So go in here, go to fire rate, and we want to go to the format right here. Now within the format parameter, you can use the following note tags to customize the colors used when showing the differences between an old stat and new stat. First is pause color, which is going to be a note tag that represents a positive color when the stat is going to increase. It'll make that a red thing since red is going to represent a very bad thing. So we'll do $FF0000. It's going to look pretty dark red, but that should work. And on the other hand, you also add the negative color note tag, so neg color, just like this, and then put the negative color. So essentially our negative color is going to be the same as a positive color by default, just like that. So now you can customize what's going to happen when the stat increases or decreases, because sometimes increasing may be bad, sometimes decreasing may be good, sometimes you want to just have completely different colors altogether for different types of stats. Anyway, also rest assured that these note tags won't affect your actual format right here. They're just added there to make it so you can customize stuff and not make things so like huge in the actual parameter list. Anyway, let's just try it out. Now as you can see, when we go to our equipment screen and we go to our cloth right here, when we try to remove our fire rate, it's actually going to be green because changing it from 200 to 100% will be a good thing. And when we put it back on, changing it from 100% to 200% is going to be a bad thing, so it's going to be red. And as you see here, like I said, it's going to be a darker red, but who cares? So anyway, now it's going to be a more realistic approach to your elemental rates, like fire rate and all the other stuff. And of course, like I said before, you can produce with any other types of stats, evals, etc., etc. And it's really all that simple. Say for example, using Bobsta's custom stats plugin, and you create a, I don't know, sanity stat, just like this. Literally, all you gotta do is create a new stat called sanity, just like that, and make the eval be actor dot whatever the name of the variable is. So actor dot sanity, just like that. And you're ready and good to go for your custom stat in the new equipment comparison window. Yeah! Another example of what you can do is you make it so there's a thunder attack evaluation. So for example, thunder attack, and then if the actor attack elements contains number 4, it'll use on or off. And of course, if the sword's attack element is set to thunder, just like this, which thunder is going to be actually element ID number 4 right here, equipping that same sword or unequipping it will make it so that thunder attack is turned on or off, just like this. As a final note, as you may have seen before, you can also change the window width, font size, and line padding. Just so that, you know, if you have like a bigger font or like bigger stat name, you may want to make the font size smaller, make the window width bigger so it doesn't squish up a lot. Same thing if you have like smaller stat names, you want to give more space to the other stuff, you can make it a smaller window width, bigger font size, whatever you choose, whatever you like, it's all up to you. Down the link to this plugin is in the description of this video. If you enjoyed, definitely leave a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more awesome plugins and stuff. And yeah, oh gosh, sanity is undefined. That's not yeah, be sure to make sure all your stats are defined and everything, else it's gonna be very bad. But yeah, that's all for now. Until next time. Oh, yeah. Cool. Much wow. Yeah. Yeah.